lifeblood of our enemies. And the bodies, we give them to the slaughterhouses, and those are pounds and pounds and pounds of meat that we grind up in the sausage and the hamburger, and that's why we made those the most popular things, sausage for breakfast and hamburger for lunch. And so all the goyim out here are really eating their children. And even when we say this outright and tell you people, you don't believe it.
What's the deal, YouTube? What's the deal, y'all? So, welcome and welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, I'd like to say I hope all of y'all are vibrating at a high frequency, not letting no negative energy stop y'all positive energy. And as you can see by the title, this is a message / challenge for all my black people for the upcoming new year, the 2026 year. And as you can see by the video I played at the beginning of this video, all of the meat that people are consuming is not real, right? But this video is for my black people in particular. And I challenge you to stop eating meat in 2026, right? For all my black people, I challenge you to stop eating meat in 2026. And I made a video previously on my other phone, but I wasn't able to upload it yet. But in that video, I was saying how black people don't really like meat. Black people don't like meat, right? And I'm gonna just go ahead and make this video on here, right? So, black people don't really like meat. They like the vegetables that they season the meat. All meat really is a seasoning sponge. This is what I came to the conclusion of. All meat is a seasoning sponge, right? And black people don't like meat. If you black and you listening to this, you do not really like meat. You like the seasoning that you put on the meat. White people really eat meat. White people, they really like meat because they'll eat the meat without the seasoning. And what is the seasoning? Onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, bay leaves. All of these are vegetables and herbs, right? So if you can't eat the meat without the vegetables and the herbs, you don't really like the meat, right? You don't like the meat for real. You don't. You like the vegetables that you're seasoning the meat up with. And if you were to put those same vegetables and that same herbs and that same seasoning on a onion or on some type of grain or vegetable that had that same texture as meat, you would not be able to know the difference. So this video is for all my black people. Like all of my videos are for all my black people. You know what I'm saying? For my species. I challenge you in 2026 to stop eating meat. Stop eating meat. And I'm actually excited. You know, I don't know how many people are going to actually try to stop eating meat, but this is what you have to understand. Once you stop consuming the poison, you're going to have a spiritual awakening. That's how I have my spiritual awakening. I stopped eating meat. I got a chicken burrito from Chili Verde, and it messed me up, right? It messed me up, and I stopped eating meat. I started eating fish and salmon and stuff like that, and then eventually I got off of the fish and the salmon. And then I start having a spiritual awakening. I start getting downloads. I start coming into remembrance of who I am and why I'm on this planet. Because the meat is poison. All of the meat is poison. And like you see and I ain't gonna make this video too long because I do want to edit it. But like you see at the beginning of this video, all of the meat that people are eating is not real meat. It's not real meat. And once you eat this meat, whatever it is, it could be a human body broken down into ground beef. Once you eat this meat, they have stuff inside of the meat that's going to make you want to continue to eat the meat. You're going to want to continue to eat it, right? And when you continue to eat the meat, these antibiotics, these hormones, these chemicals are going to affect your mind and stop you from getting downloads, stop you from connecting with God, right? So I'm excited for anybody that's black that's going to stop eating meat, because like I told y'all previously, all of the black people, all of the organic beings on this planet, we all get different downloads. We all get different information from our creator. And if you are a 9-ether being, if you are a organic being, we all have the same creator, right? We all have the same creator. We come from the same place. All my black people, all my neuromelanated, carbonated beings, we come from the same place. So all of the food that we consume on a daily basis that they feed us is to stop the downloads from God, to stop the connection with God. So once you stop eating the meat, to all my black people, you're going to start getting downloads from God. And I'm excited to know, to learn, or I'm excited to know that, how can I say this shit? I'm excited of the information that I'm going to learn from other black people once they stop eating the meat and start getting their downloads. Because I learned a lot of shit from black people. And I'm pretty sure the shit I be teaching on here, saying on here, some of y'all probably learned a little something from that too. Or you can put something with that and learn something from that, right? And I'm only able to get on here and say what I be saying and the shit I be talking about because I'm getting these downloads from the Most High, right? I'm getting these downloads from God. And I'm only able to get these downloads from God because I don't have nothing disrupting my connection. No fake food, you know, that's just going to disrupt your connection from the Most High. All that poison in the food, all of these chemicals is going to disrupt your connection from the Most High. It's going to prolong your spiritual awakening. So once you detox and detach from these chemicals that they put in the food, the meat, all of the bullshit, all of the meat, it's not real meat. And all of the fast food is definitely not real meat. And how they get you attracted to the fast food, they use color magic. Red, all these low vibrational colors, orange, yellow, all these lower vibrational colors that are associated with your root chakra. They use these colors and to attract you to the they use the color magic to attract you to the fast food restaurant. And once you go to the fast food restaurant, they feed you the poison. Once they feed you the poison, that's going to put your brain in a more docile state. So one, you're not going to ask no questions. Two, you're not going to be able to get no downloads from God, from your creator, right? You're not going to be able to connect with God because you got all this food in your body that's disrupting your mood, your hormones, your peace, etc., your vibration, right? So I'm excited for anybody that's black that wants to stop eating meat. You're going to start getting all type of downloads. You're going to start knowing shit. And when you get those downloads, share them with your people. Share them. I want to know what God is telling you. Because we all getting different downloads. I may be on here talking about what I'm talking about right now with how the meat is poison. You may stop eating meat and you get a download on how you're not supposed to wear certain cloth materials because the material has chemicals in it. It's just an example. We all get different downloads from our creator. All of my black people, we all get different downloads. And it's just a challenge, right? I'm going to challenge myself next year not to eat no fast food. I don't eat meat, right? But there's times where I'll be like, oh, let me just get a large fry from Wingstop, or let me get a large fry from here, or let me go to Chipotle and get a veggie bowl. But I'm going to challenge myself not to eat no fast food in 2026. Every meal that I eat in 2026 is going to be prepared by me. I'm not even letting nobody else cook my food, right? So this is just a challenge for all my black people. And I challenge y'all to stop eating meat. And you can thank me later. I know people be like, oh, yeah, I can't this and that. Yeah, meat, I can't stop eating meat, this and that. But you're not even eating nothing but vegetables. If you really like meat, you will get the meat from the store and just eat the shit like that. You won't even cook it. But y'all faking for real. And if you really like me, you'll cook it. You'll get the meat from the store, you'll cook it. You won't put no vegetables on it, though. All you people, all my black people, all my organic beings that are out here getting burgers and getting steak and getting chicken, and you're seasoning the shit up with garlic salt, seasoning salt, garlic pepper or onion powder, oregano, all of these vegetables, you're faking it, bro. You don't really like meat. You're eating that shit and you feel like I can't get no protein without meat, but you can get some anything. You can get some black beans, make a black bean burger. You can get some lentils, make a hamburger with some lentils. You know what I'm saying? And you will have the same fullness as you would from eating that burger, but you're going to have more energy and you're going to be able to get downloads, right? You can't get no downloads when you're eating that fucking burger from even if it's Jenny-O ground turkey. That's still not real meat. There's not enough. And what animal makes the ground turkey? I always had that question. If the ground, is it a turkey? You ground the turkey up and it makes the ground turkey? That it could be like that. I don't know, but I always where the fuck does the ground turkey come from, right? So back to the point of this video. Even if it's Jenny-O ground turkey or animals are not having sex and reproducing and letting the calf, the cub get to a mature amount. You can't just they can't just birth a baby, a cow, a chicken, and just slaughter the chicken right there. They have to let the chicken grow, the cow grow to a certain level of maturity. Once that cow or that chicken or that pig grows to a certain level of maturity, then it could get slaughtered and fed to the masses. They're not doing that. They're not having cows reproduce and they birth a calf, a baby cow, and then they just slaughter the cow. They're not doing that. The cow has to grow. They have to feed the cow. They have to raise the cow for a certain amount of months. And then they can slaughter the cow when the meat is mature enough or when it's enough meat on the cow's body to feed to the masses. They're not doing that. Think about just in California. All the people in California. Maybe the farms all over the country can feed California on a consistent basis. All of the farms all over the country can maybe feed 15 million people in California, maybe with real animals. Think about what I'm saying. All of the farms all over the country. If they have cows and all that shit, they slaughter all the cows, they get the meat, and they send it to California. Maybe all of the farms can feed California, and that's just California. It's 15 million people in California. Motherfuckers are eating hamburgers every day, multiple burgers a day. So you have to ask yourself, there's no way that this is real meat. There's no way. And they're not going to give you all a dead body. They're going to give you probably 20% of human meat. They're going to give you like 30% of some fillers, right? And they're going to just grind this shit all together. If I put some shit in the blender with some chocolate, with some strawberries, some fruit, and with some oatmeal, some peanut butter, and I blend all that shit up, immediately, if I put a little bit of shit, a little turd in the blender with a bunch of other brown shit, a bunch of other brown peanuts, let's see, oats, all the shit that's brown, right? Chocolate, and blend it up. You will not be able to know that there's boo-boo in that mixture. You won't be able to know because it's just a little bit. You probably won't even be able to smell this shit in that mixture because it's just like literally if somebody took some shit and put it in the blender with some chocolate, with some Oreos, with some motherfucking peanut butter, you probably won't even be able to smell that shit because it's just a little bit, right? But they're still going to have a little effects on your mental health. You putting that little bit of shit in the blender. So all of the meat is not real meat, and it's not 100% a human being you're eating. It's probably like 25% human flesh. It's probably like 50 or 40% fillers. You might get a little bit of ground beef in there, or not. They're not going to be giving you to McDonald's and Burger King, all these fast food places. They're not going to be giving you actual cows that they raised. They probably put the actual cows that they raised. They probably put a percentage of that meat into the meat with the human flesh and the fillers, and they put that shit in the grocery store, right? And then you go eat the groceries, and all of the shit that's fast food is probably lab grown meat and mixed with humans. You know what I'm saying? It's just something to think about. Like the beginning of the video, you see that it's not all meat that we're eating. And besides that, for my black people, right? It's not saying like I don't give a fuck about anybody else, but I really don't give a fuck about anybody else, respectfully. For all my black people, stop eating meat in 2026, please. You know what I'm saying? Stop eating meat. Just try to get off of the shit. Just try to, and you're going to have your spiritual awakening. I guarantee you. You're going to have an awakening. Because the meat is going to fuck with your brain. It's not real food, man. It's not real food. You know what I'm saying? It's not real food. And today is December 24th before this little ritual, Christmas Eve. You know what I'm saying? Niggas just chilling. I'm just thinking about this because I saw this video on Facebook, and also I was trying to upload this video a few days ago telling my people to, saying how black people don't really like meat. But I wasn't able to upload it, right? Because my phone is lagging, etc. I ain't got no space or whatever the case is, right? So I'm going to just make it on here. And black people don't like meat. They don't. You know what I'm saying? Black people do not like meat because if you like meat, you would just eat the meat like that without the seasoning. You would just cook the meat so it's not, so you can get rid of any germs and etc. And then you would just eat the meat like that. But y'all are not eating meat like that. You're putting seasoning on it. You're putting all of these vegetables on the meat. And I came to the conclusion, as childish, as immature, or however this may sound, but meat ain't nothing but a seasoning sponge, right? For my black people, because all we do is season the meat and we eat the meat. We're seasoning the meat with vegetables. The meat is nothing but a filler. If you were to get a mushroom or some type of vegetable that can hold the same texture as chicken or ground beef, you will get the same results, if not better, from eating that. If you get some lentils, cook the lentils, blend the lentils up, put some breadcrumbs in that, form them into patties, Put them on the skillet. You can have hamburgers like that. You eat that burger, you're going to have more energy than if you ate a ground beef burger. And then you're going to start slowly getting your mind back. Control of your mind. Then you get control over your life, right? You won't be just on some NPC shit because you eating the food, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's ways you can get your protein and all that shit and still eat a burger and all that shit without eating the poison. I was chopping it up with one of my customers yesterday, and I forgot how we even got into this conversation, but we was talking about, oh yeah, I think I was asking like what you got up for the holiday and shit, right? And we was talking about food and shit. And he was like, yeah, I just be eating these little burritos. I get a box of burritos, this and that. They're cheap. I'm like, shit, I just been eating lentils lately. You know what I'm saying? Lentils and rice. And I was like, shit, to be honest with you, I don't even eat meat. You know what I'm saying? I be having more energy, all this shit. He was like, yeah. Because I remember I had a black bean burger. He was saying how he had a black bean burger and the shit was good. This and I ain't never had a black bean burger before, but that shit be looking good though, right? And you can get a black bean burger. You can get you any type of burger and without all of the chemicals in it. All of those chemicals have an effect on your mind. If you take if you microdose a Xanax or a piece of ecstasy every day, after a while, you're going to have some effects on your mental health. It's not like you taking the whole thizzle. You're not taking the whole pill, a whole Xanax. You're taking a little piece of that Xanbar, a little piece of that Xanax, a little piece of that Xanax every day. After a while, you're going to have some effects on your mental health, right? You may not be aware of this shit because you just like, oh, it's just a little piece of a Xanax. It's just a burger on the way to work. Not even knowing that burger is full of chemicals that's going to fuck with your mental health. You know what I'm saying? So for all my black people, try to stop eating meat. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the downloads that my people will start getting once they start making these changes in their life. Because I know I start getting all type of downloads once I stop eating meat. I stopped eating, and I fucked up because I stopped eating meat, right? And I thought that, I didn't know fish was meat. So I'm like, damn, I ain't eating meat. I ain't eating meat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm eating fish and all this shit. So at first, I was a pescatarian. Stopped eating meat. Just only eating fish and vegetables, right? Then I got off the fish because I realized that's meat too. And I'm not like, oh, I don't want to eat no dead animals. I don't want to eat no dead animals, right? The same time that's fucked up to consume a dead animal because you consuming the emotions, etc. of the animal. Like if they are feeding y'all real meat, you see why everybody's so aggressive because these animals have consciousness and a mind too, and they have spirit in their blood too. So when you slaughter these animals, all those emotions go into the bloodstream. And then you cook that blood into the meat, trying to get rid of it. You cook it into the meat, and then you eat that. And now you walking around vibrating low. That's for the real meat that's actually made by animals. All the other shit, ain't no telling how you going to be feeling eating some fake meat or a dead body. What? You don't know what spirit, what soul was in that vessel of that. You shouldn't want to eat no fucking human meat. If you don't know the history of what you're consuming, you should not want to eat that shit, right? You shouldn't even feel comfortable buying some lentils in the store unless you've seen them farmed, etc. But the meat, like I told y'all, you can get a piece of shit, a little turd, a little piece of boo-boo, and mix it in the blender and blend it up, and you won't even tell that. You won't even know it's shit in this chocolate shake. You won't even know it's shit in this chocolate peanut butter oatmeal shit. You won't even know. Just like they could put a piece of human meat in a percentage of meat in a pack of ground beef. You can't see that shit in the store. Roll of ground beef. You can't see that shit. You unroll this shit. You squeeze this shit right into the pan. You're not looking at it or nothing. You squeeze this shit right into the pan. Whole time that's 20% human, 30% fillers, 15% ground beef, and 35% some other shit. You know what I'm saying? And you just eat this shit and you wonder why you vibrating low, why you got all these thoughts in your head. That's not your thoughts, why you ain't got no energy. Why you all fatigued and tired? We're not supposed to be fatigued and tired when you wake up. You're not supposed to need no energy drink. When I wake up and I be drinking energy drink and all that shit, I'll be like, okay, I got to get some fruit and clean out my digestive system because my digestive system is what's causing me not to have no energy. Because if you take a fat dump, you're going to be tired after because your digestive system uses all that energy to push the shit out of your intestines, right? Your digestive system uses, I'm not sure of the exact percentage, but it uses 85 to 80 to 90% of your energy, right? Or most of your energy is from your digestive system. So if you digesting a bunch of meat and all this shit, and your digestive system has to work overtime to push this meat out, you're gonna have less energy. But if you eating food, and for black people, that's what I'm telling my black people, we have a colder hydrochloric acid in our stomachs. So when we get to eating ground beef and all that shit, the hydrochloric acid in our stomach, it does not break the meat down properly. So it just sits there and it sits there and it sits there and it sits there. And you just got all this shit in your stomach, literally shit. And I was driving yesterday and I looked over and I'm not trying to pop it or no shit. I'm just saying this shit was just like crazy to me. I looked over and it was a Caucasian with a fucking big ass stomach sitting down. And I'm like, damn. And I seen the shit in the car on top. I just looked, I seen that shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that motherfucker is literally full of shit. Because I remember one time I was at the gym, right? And I walked in the gym and I had like a little gut. I had a little gut and I took a shit and the gut went away. I'm like, okay, that was just some food. You know what I'm saying? That was just some food. We good. So and that's because I don't eat meat. It's easier for me to just digest whatever I have in my stomach. If you black and you got a gut, that's literally shit in your stomach, undigested food, because you're eating the food, you're eating meat that can't get digested properly. It takes 30 days to digest some meat. Right? And if you eating meat every day, it's like, what, you're killing yourself. So some people that are about to go tomorrow and eat all these hams and all this shit, you're still digesting food, not only from Thanksgiving 2025, you probably digesting food from Thanksgiving 2024, Christmas 2024, right? Because it takes 30 days to get all this shit out your system. If you constantly putting meat in your body, you're not going to be digesting this shit. And when you got all this shit in your gut, it's going to affect your cognitive brain function. If you got all this meat in your body, it's going to affect your cognitive thinking, your cognitive brain function. That's why I said I'm excited to any black people that stop eating meat. I'm excited from what you going to know and what you going to teach me, right? Because once you stop eating meat, you're going to get all of these downloads from God, and it's up to you if you want to share them or not, but that's why you get in them, so you can share them, and so people can learn from you, like people may be learning from me, like I learn from other people. These are all downloads that we're getting from God. How you think we just started to know shit? These are downloads, and the poison in the food, the meat, is going to interrupt those downloads. So that's what I'm saying. I ain't going to make this video too much longer because I said everything I have to say. I hope all y'all vibrating high. If you celebrating the holiday, do what you do. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's an energy ritual. It's to get your energy, and it's to make you want to consume, buy, spend your money, and all this shit, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited, and let me get back right. I'm excited about to end this video too. I'm excited for anybody that wants to participate in this challenge and stop eating meat, or if you're already a vegetarian or vegan, let's stop eating the fast food. Let's step away completely from these fast food restaurants and slowly but surely just start consuming shit that we cook or that our people cook, right? Or that our people cook. Let's step away from these fast food restaurants, eating all of this poisonous shit that's lowering our vibration, and let's stop eating meat, black people. You know what I'm saying? 2026, let's stop eating meat, and let's see how our lives will change by the end of the year. Right? You stop eating meat in January, you working a job and shit. By June, July, August, September, you may have your own business, running your business and shit, because you stop eating the meat. Now you can use your energy to think. You have more of your brain power because you're not eating poison, right? So I ain't gonna make this video too much longer. I hope all y'all vibrating, got a high frequency, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.